we wanted to make music that reflects our taste, and I think we were into songs that were honest and had a little bit of commentary about the world around it. And I think that's the kind of songs that we wanted to write when we started Fokofpolisiekar and still want to write.
Good morning, Francois. It's so lovely to meet you here on Zoom.
Petra, very nice to meet you. Happy to chat to you today.
Yeah, you're in South Africa. Where are you based exactly?
I'm in Bellville, the northern suburbs of Cape Town. I grew up here and wished my whole life to get away from Bellville. Moved out of Bellville after school, and when I got married, how long ago was that? About 11 years ago, I moved back here.
Oh, okay. So, but where did you want to go to?
Yeah,
if you want to be there.
If you grow up in Bellville, it's like, I think that's the reason why a lot of me and my friends started making music, because there's not that much to do. It's like kind of like a boring middle class conservative kind of suburb. So, for me as a child and a high school kid, I just wanted to get out of here. I'd like the Cape Town, 30 kilometers away looked like this mystical place. So I just wanted to leave Bellville and, I guess feel like I can experience more than being Bellville. So my mission was to get away, and now I'm back here.
And you're back. But so all routes lead to Bellville then in the end.
Yeah, it's funny. I know you interviewed my friend Hunter the other day, and we played a band together, Fokofpolisiekar, and all of us moved out of Bellville, and all of us eventually moved back to Bellville. So it's interesting that we end up where we grew up and a place where we wanted to escape.
But this is so interesting. This band that you are, or your band, Fokofpolisiekar. Interesting name. How did you come up with this name?
Before Fokofpolisiekar, we played in kind of English rock bands, rock and punk bands, and it was kind of taboo to be in an Afrikaans band at that stage because there was nothing that was really cool or that we thought was cool. Before Fokofpolisiekar, there was stuff like Koos Kombuis and Johannes Kerkorrel that we felt we could relate to the lyrics, but the music we couldn't really relate to that much because it was like, I think this genre was like this old school kind of blues thing, and we felt like we were citizens of the world. We liked international stuff. And then we started joking around about starting this Afrikaans band. It's going to be so funny. Because it was very uncool to do something in Afrikaans at that stage. And then we came up with a name in a very stoner moment. Me and the bass player, Bernard, we were driving to the beach, and I was driving his venture. He had like a little venture panel van. We used to do live sound for bands. So there was a panel van to carry equipment and stuff. And a sedan pulled in front of me, and I was like, "Oh, you Fokofpolisiekar." And we were like, damn, that's an amazing name for our band. So that's Fokof, I guess, family vehicle. And we thought, damn, that's an amazing name for the band. And we found Hunter immediately, and we said, dude, we've got the name for our band. We have to start this Afrikaans band now. And we didn't see him for about 2 weeks. And then when we saw him again, he was like, what's the name of our band again? Fokofpolisiekar. And we were like, oh, that's even better. And then we had the name, and then we started writing these songs, and our friends, our immediate friends, resonated with them immediately, and we kind of knew there was something special to it.
I said to Hunter also, and a few bands that I spoke to, where you talk about the name of the band, because these names really are so random. You cannot. It must come from somewhere. And all these stories are always the same. It's like this. We've been thinking about a name, and then suddenly this came up. So I find it so interesting. And but does this name now sort of represent what you do? Does it represent the music that you do in the way that, because it is a bit of a rebellious name. I mean,
Yeah,
the meaning of the name is a bit rebellious.
yeah, I think it was kind of anti-authority at that stage when we started it. I think we wanted to say kind of goodbye to our Afrikaans history and upbringing. We just wanted to say like we're going to sing in Afrikaans, but we want to start something that's fresh. That's not doesn't it's not bound to the chains of the past of Afrikaans. So it was a little bit rebellious, and I think we were rebelling against everything that was conservative in Afrikaans, and we just wanted to liberate ourselves and express our freedom.
And also your name, it's a stage name, Francois van Coke.
Yeah, it's also got a funny story if you want to hear that one. So my real name is Badenhorst, Francois Badenhorst, and my dad is a Dutch Reformed minister of the NG Kerk in South Africa. When we started the band, my mom asked me. There was the first article on Fokofpolisiekar was in the Afrikaans newspaper, Die Burger. And it was quite a positive write-up, but it had a photo and our names were listed under the photo, Hunter Kennedy, Wynand Meyburg, Francois Badenhorst. And then at that stage, my dad was Dominee, and people from the congregation found the house they were staying at, we call the pastorie. It's like the pastoral house. And they were like asking my father, like, what's wrong with your son? He's playing in this band with this swear word in the name. And then my mom was just like, please don't use your surname in the press anymore. And we had this running joke from way back about there's a Coca-Cola there's manufacturing place down the west coast of South Africa. And we were recording with a previous band, and there was someone from Vredendal, which is the town where that place is, and they were talking about a guy, Van Coke, Johan Van Coke, because he works for Coca-Cola. And then we thought, oh man, that's so funny. His name is Johan Van Coke, and it became like a running joke. And then when my mom asked me not to use my surname in the next interview I did, also in Die Burger, the Afrikaans newspaper, I said my name is Francois van Coke, and it just stuck from there. So that's 2004, early 2004. So I've been Francois van Coke for almost 20 years.
Oh, this is so incredible. I mean, so you just adapt. So this is your stage name now. You have to. This is to protect your family, really.
Yeah, my mom. I guess. Like now. I think 20 years down the line, my mom is quite proud to be Francois van Coke's mom.
I can imagine.
But it took some time. I think it was a massive shock to my parents when we started this band. Just the name in itself. I think my mom was crying for 2 days when she heard the name. It was just a massive shock because my dad is a minister. My mom works kind of in church, and it was very tough for them to deal with that. But I mean, now things have changed. I mean, I've got a solo career, and I think they can also realize that I'm supporting my family, and they're kind of proud of what I've achieved, I guess. So now it's fine, but it took some time.
Yeah. But now I spoke to Hunter as well about this. The Afrikaans music used to be like this, and it used to be, and like you said, you broke away, but it used to be a lot of music that very innocent music. It's what people sang about. It's almost like the Schlager that we have here in Austria and Germany. And you've really, because I listen to your music, and your lyrics are really very much about life, and it's about and it's deep. It's about feelings and things like that. So, was this also then for you a specific route that you wanted to take to break away from just
Yes, I think, like I said, we wanted to make music that reflects our taste, and I think we were into songs that were honest and had a little bit of uh, commentary about the world around it, and I think that's the kind of songs that we wanted to write when we started Fokofpolisiekar and still want to write. So I don't think we ever thought we don't want to make like Afrikaans music like that because that wasn't even part of our frame of
Mm.
reference. We never grew up with like the Afrikaans socky music. I don't know how to like the Slager
Yeah,
stuff. I guess like we never
yeah.
grew up with that. We never got into that. So we fell in love with music when in the grunge movement. I guess when Nirvana and Pearl Jam came out. So that wasn't really part of our reference at all. We just wanted to make music that's reflects who we are and is honest about where we are in our life.
And your background in music, did you study music at all?
No, not at all. I'm probably the worst music student in the world. I think I had grade one on like recorder or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I played it. I tried to play it through my nose most of the time. So I was like not very serious about music. Um, I when I was in primary school, I was kind of into rugby. Was my passion. Like it was like I was really into sport, and I only really started playing guitar when I was 16 years old. So I never studied anything. Kind of learned from jamming with my friends and jamming in bands and stuff like that. I still can't read music. I
Really?
I'm most of the time don't have a clue what I'm doing when I'm writing music either. I don't feel like I know what I'm doing either. So um, sometimes it comes out all right. And I work with great musicians that can write proper music.
Oh, okay. So you don't write yourself?
Yes, I write lyrics and I write some of the music, but I mean, it's not like I don't see myself as a composer. I see myself as a rock musician that's writing songs.
Mm. And in this band, do you find also that because some or many musicians talk about this collaboration between musicians that you almost bounce off each other, you almost inspire each other. Do you find that also in a band like that? That the moment you get together, this is what happens. You sort of inspire each other.
Yes, yeah. I write with a couple of different groups. I've got a solo career and I write with my band in that sense, and then obviously I do a lot of collaboration with various artists, and it's always different. It's always you always learn something from the person you're writing with, because everyone's personality is different. You learn about personalities. That's why I love collaborating so much. It's just you learn about people and about writing music and songs. I find it very interesting.
But in South Africa, what are the possibilities for you there? Because if you sing mostly in Afrikaans.
Yeah, I think we've kind of reached more or less like I guess the ceiling that you can reach in South Africa. I've got a big show I do every year. It's like an arena show. It's called Francois van Coke and Vrienden, and that's probably the biggest thing you can do in South Africa if you play rock music. Um, Obviously, we're part of big events. There's a couple of big festivals and stuff, but singing in Afrikaans definitely limits you. We've traveled here and there. We've got a little bit of a following in Europe. We're playing actually a sold out show, our first sold out show in Amsterdam
Wow. Oh, wow.
in about 2 weeks. After 20 years, we've got a sold out show in Amsterdam. Quite interesting, but I mean. I think we kind of shot ourselves in the foot to sing in Afrikaans, but we will never be what we are if it was not in Afrikaans.
Mm.
That's kind of what makes it special and makes it what it is. So for me, I just want to have longevity in South Africa and play music to people that appreciate it. Yeah, I don't have dreams of not anymore, of becoming an international rock rock star. You know what I mean? I definitely had those dreams in my 20s, but I don't live with those delusions anymore. But I'm very happy and privileged that I can play music for a living and that I have enough people to support my career.
Mm. But when you go, for example, overseas and people don't understand all the lyrics, but they get the music.
Yeah. For me, I've always loved, bands that sing in other languages, like Rammstein or there's a band Stierbaard Bakkebaard from the Netherlands that I really like. And I think that music can transcend the language. It just like it will. I don't think it will ever become like a pop culture phenomenon in another country, which Fokofpolisiekar was in South Africa. It was like it was something that has never happened before, and we were the first of its kind. It was like was a crazy thing. Yeah, that won't happen anywhere else. But the weird thing now is we go and play to expats all over the world because there's so many expats from South Africa. New Zealand. We've been to New Zealand. We've been to Australia. We've been to England, the Netherlands. There's so many South Africans that you can play to different parts of the world at the moment.
But young musicians coming up, because the band idea, sometimes, we dismiss the band idea when children are younger and in high school, everybody forms a band and then you think, okay, it's just a phase, they're forming a band. But there must be some children now that look up to you and think, hey, this is what is possible. You can make a life in South Africa, or you can make a living by singing Afrikaans like you did. I mean, of course, it would not be everybody that would be able to do it, but you must be some sort of inspiration for younger musicians coming up now.
Yes, no, I definitely think so. Like we also had bands that we looked up to when we were young. We didn't have a lot, but there was a band called the Springbok Nude Girls. I don't know if you've heard of them. They were like around when I was in high school, and they were, in my mind, the only band that's really doing it full time at that stage. And I remember I told you earlier that I told my folks that I'm starting this band, and I remember my mom telling me, like, you're going to have to be bigger than the Springbok Nude Girls. Like I was like, my mom even knew about this band, and she knew that we had to be bigger than them to make a living. But I mean, they were inspiration to us, and I hope we can be an inspiration to others just to make music what is, to do what they want to do and what they feel passionate about. And I still think it's hard. It's hard in South Africa. It definitely is. I mean, your market is only that big, especially if you sing in Afrikaans. But it is a possibility if you do something if you get lucky and do something that's original, because that like doing something that's original is not really something that you can make up. It's like something that happens. It's not something that you can just decide today I want to be original. It happens
exactly
over time and whatever influenced you and who you work with. It's like a lot of factors, So, and luck also plays a part there.
Yeah, that's true. There's not a recipe. There's not like something where you say you have to be this and this and this, and then you'll end up being so unique.
Yeah, that's impossible. It's impossible to tell someone how to be unique. That's really impossible.
Yeah. But now, what is? I mean, you have a solo career. You sing with bands and so on. What is still the wish for you? What would you like to achieve still?
Yeah, I still want to make music that people can identify with and find relevant in their lives. That's my main mission. I've been doing kind of bigger shows every year since 2018, like doing this arena show, which is probably the biggest thing you can do here. But I want to keep on making music that touch people and that people can relate to. I think that's my main mission. I hope I can do that for long.
Did your music change a lot? Can you see, when you look back, can you see actually how your music changed with how your life changed?
Yes, yeah, definitely. I think like over the years, I've done a couple of different things, but I think the biggest change was probably when I started my solo career in 2015. And I mean, it's not necessarily like a style change because I'm still playing rock music, but I think uh, I went through personal changes in my personal life, and that kind of makes you write about different things. And I mean, that influenced everything else. You know, now I'm a father. I've got kids. I write about different things. You know, I'm not as angry as when I was 23. I'm 43 years old. You know, like things drastically changed over 20 years. My circumstances has changed. Everything has changed. I mean, there's like I guess my main principles in my mind is still the same, but everything else has changed over 20 years. I always try and explain to people like going on the road, going on tour when you're 23 is like the best thing you can possibly do. You get away from your circumstances. You probably stay in a shitty little bed in a yellow room, but you go on the road and you get to stay in a hotel and hang out with your friends every day and make music. Now when I'm 43, it's a little bit different. You know, I've got a family at home. I've got two kids that I want to see. I've got a dog that I want to see. I've got my wife that I want to hang out with. I've got a comfortable place where I stay. Didn't say it gets tougher to be on the road. It gets tougher to live this life just because your circumstances change.
Mm. I just want to say your wife's not going to be happy if she's named after the kids and the
After
dog.
the dog. It's a new dog. That's probably why the dog came up first. But she's actually in the room next to me. She might even hear it. I look like I feel like I'm blushing.
But your kids now, are they fans? Are they old enough to sort of realize that you are a star in South Africa?
Yeah, I think my daughter has kind of realized that. I mean, there's kids in her class that wear some of my T-shirts to class, and then she'd realize that. And she would tell me, "Oh, Dad, this boy is really a big fan." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And some of the teachers are fans. So I guess she kind of, and she's seen me on TV and stuff like that. So I guess that she kind of realizes that I'm a musician, and that makes it a little bit different, you know. She doesn't want to be a Van Coke because she says she's not going to be a singer, so she sticks with Badenor. She doesn't want to be a Van Coke at all. But she's actually got an amazing voice, and one of the greatest experiences I've ever had is we did a song together at a school concert.
Wow.
It was so cool. But yeah, she's not keen on performing, but she's got a beautiful voice. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. My lighty is two and a half. He just wants to throw a ball, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay, yeah. And what age is she?
She's 6. She's grade 1.
So she still thinks you're cool. Wait till she's 13 and she's not
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to think that anymore.
I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for my daughter hating me. Now, I've got a friend that's got a teenager. We started a bit late because we were on the road and playing rock
and
music every
rolling,
night.
yeah.
So my daughter was born when I was 36 years old. So a lot of my friends started earlier, but he's got a teenager that doesn't want to talk to him at all. So I'm not ready for that at all yet.
Yeah.
Give me another 10 years.
Yeah, well, I survived that, so
Nice.
yeah, I say life can bring anything to you after you've had teenagers.
Okay. Don't tell me. I'll get ready in the next 10 years until she's 16. I'll be ready.
Now, when I see these mums with the babies and the prams and they look so tired, then I think, do you know what? Be happy you at least know where they are, you know. So.
Oh no. No, that also scares me. Kids going out and no, it's crazy. I know what I was up to when I was 16 to 18.
Yeah, so you know.
I don't want my kids to be there.
But Francois, this was so great to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time. It's wonderful. I hope that you come to Vienna one day. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
I haven't been. I haven't been. I would love to. I would love to.
Yeah, I think you have to come and do a concert here.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Amsterdam
Repeat the-
first, Vienna second.
Next, yeah.
Let's go.
We'll put the wish out there.
Okay, cool, Petra. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. It was very nice to talk to you.
Thank you, Francois. Have a lovely afternoon.
All the best.